What's up, everyone? So I told you that I was gonna do another video like this, which is this is not a tutorial, it's an update. But instead of an update, it's just gonna be a rambly, ranty video about some stuff that's happening in the pop culture realm, because so much has happened and there's just a lot to do, a lot to say. And one of those things I'll have to read because I just can't absorb all the information into my brain, because I've had to follow two other stories that's happening here in America. Actually, 2.5. So, as you can see, I'm using good old Sally Hinson products. Not sponsored, wouldn't mind being sponsored. We're doing a different nail design than I did the last time, which was, I think it was black and gray with black polka dots. If you want to check out that video, there's 3 of them, so I will probably put a card somewhere in the corner or something for the first part, and then you can look for the other 2 parts on my channel. Anyway, let's jump into the nails. So first, I think everything's all evenly nice and stuff. I washed my hands earlier, so we're good. We're going to start. Top coat, of course, not a tutorial. So, first thing, I think I'll do with the easiest thing. First, I'm not going to talk about anything about R. Kelly. I know I talked about him in the last thing. Oh yeah, so the nail goal for today is I'm going to be doing this color, and I'm going to put this kind of lacy effect. I have another lace effect that's more lacy than this, but I figured I've done this before, but it was a pink color. It was a hot pink over black, so I just figured I'll save my lace for later and just use, I don't know what kind of design you would call this, but I'd use that. But anyway, so let's put the base coat on. So, okay, so I mentioned R. Kelly. I think I talked about him for a really, really long time in the last one, and I think that's the main reason the video was so long. But I think I mentioned this before, I am gonna do at least 3 or 4 blog posts about everything that's going on with the R. Kelly situation, covering my thoughts about surviving R. Kelly, everything I found out on YouTube, everything that's happened now with Gayle King interview, so on and so forth. And what I think that should happen with him, yeah, so that'll be saved for the blog, because I just do not feel like talking about him in a video, because it's just going to be way too long. I would like to talk about what's going on with Michael Jackson and the Finding Neverland documentary, but I have to find the documentary somewhere, because I don't have HBO, so I have to find a place to watch it, and I want to reserve my thoughts on Michael Jackson and his child molestation accusations when I watch this. All I've watched was body language stuff and clips, and that's about it, but I have not watched the documentary. What I can talk about in this video is Jussie Smollett, which I'm sure some people are sick of hearing about. If you don't know who that is, he plays Jamal Lyon in the Fox TV show Empire, which I watch religiously. I love it. I did not watch this week's episode, but I will. I had to go see Captain Marvel with Maja, because I promised that I would, and I don't regret going. So I recorded it. It's on my DVR, so I need to watch that and Star and Whiskey Cavalier. I think that's most of the stuff that comes on Wednesdays. All the other stuff was late night stuff that I could catch, which was Daily Show, and I watched that this morning, and I still need to watch the DL Hughley show, and because he has a new talk show thing that's pretty interesting. It's kind of in a podcast kind of format, but you can see them. And the Jim Jeffrey show. Oh, that was Tuesday. But yeah, so I haven't watched this week's Empire, but I did watch it when it came back on. So Jussie Smollett, he went to the police and he said that he was attacked by two masked people, and they were, saying, MAGA forever, whatever, that whole Trump thing, because he's, that whole Make America Great Again thing, and they put a rope around his neck, and they poured bleach on him, and he was attacked, and they, called him a bunch of, like, homophobic slurs, and they ran off. So, and this was, like, that's just, like, not the full story, but, so he went to the police and said that this was, potentially a hate crime, but, he went out to go get, like, Subway or something, and so I think he called his manager or whatever, and they talked to the police, and he told him that. But anyway, so he said some bold things at one of his concerts about, like, he's like the gay Tupac, which I'm just kind of like big giant eye roll, but whatever. He is a fantastic actor. He is a great singer. I will give him that. I enjoy his character. He's one of my favorite characters in the show, which makes me sad that this is happening. So anyway, when the police, he's talked to the police a few times about, like, what happened and stuff, and then people were kind of skeptical on whether this actually happened. They thought that, he might have, like, lied about what happened, and surprise, surprise, they found out that his attackers were caught on video and not the camera that he wanted them to be on, because he wanted the attack to be caught on a specific camera, but it was not facing that direction. But they did find a camera, some camera footage of the two men who attacked him in a convenience store, of them buying the materials that they were going to use during the attack. And they realized that these two individuals were his personal trainer and an extra from the show Empire. And I guess they had a deal that he was going to, like, give them some money if they did this, because allegedly, I'm not sure if this is the truth, I don't think it's completely confirmed, but allegedly he wanted to get more money for being on Empire. I guess he just thought he deserved more for what he was doing, and he promised them a cut, and he tried to get people to pay attention to him having threats against him, because he, like, so allegedly made threatening letters sent to him by, like, cutting out magazine, like, letters and stuff like that. And there's images of it. I'm sure you can find it online. So at the moment, I think he is going to jail. I'm not sure. I think that's what I read, that he's gonna have, I think, 2 years of jail time or 4 years of jail time. He's gonna be serving some time for sure. For lying to the police. I think it was like 16 counts or something like that. So he did do an interview with, I'm not sure if it was Gayle King or a different, I think it was a different lady, because I think another person, like, said, oh, I really like that interview, did Gayle King, but it was actually Robin something or other. I'm not saying all black people look alike. They don't all look alike. But anyway, I just don't remember who it was, but it was not Gayle King. So he did an interview, and I watched this guy that I'm now subscribed to. I'll probably put a card up there for it. I've been watching a lot of his, like, body language stuff, so I watched a body language thing for him with R. Kelly, and I watched a body language for him. So he points out all of the points where he's, like, lying and stuff about things, and yeah, it's just, I honestly, from what I've seen, I think he did lie about the attack, and he set this up, and, like, all of that happened, and it really sucks because I really like him, but I also think it's a bad look for people who are in the LGBT community who do get attacked for who they are. And I feel like there were other ways that he could have approached his situation better if it was for money. I think he could have approached that better. And I recently I kind of skimmed through the article where Lee Daniels was saying that the Empire team is really hurt that this is happening, but I'm really curious how his character is going to be handled in the show. I really don't want them to kill him off. I have a guess of what might happen just based off of the one episode that I saw since they came back on air, which is I think they're just going to send him off to London with his boyfriend, Kai. But they did say that they're not going to completely take him out of the show, but they are removing him from the last 2 episodes of the season. So I'm low-key, actually high-key, hoping that he can return back to the show. But I think it'll take some time for him to be in good graces with the fans and viewers and the LGBT community. I can't speak for them, but I think that's a problem. It's kind of like when the whole like, oh, people lie about rape cases, and it just makes people who have been through that situation even harder for them to convict. So I think this is one of those cases where it's like, well, we were doing like a little bit better about hate crimes, but you just kind of set it back like a lot. Anyway, so we're going to move on to the next step, which is to do this red color, which is called Dig Fig. So hopefully it'll focus and actually say that it's called Dig Fig. I've used this color before. I really like it. It's like a deep red color, so really I wanted to do this for like February because, Valentine's Day red. But clearly it's like the end of March, so we're just going to do this color anyway because I've always wanted to do this experiment. I wanted to do this last year, but anyway, so we're going to do this color now. So anyway, so pretty much that is my thoughts on the Jussie Smollett situation. I am keeping track of what's going on with it because really, I'm supposed, like, this the whole point of, Muddy Cult is to, keep up to date with pop culture from east to west. So we are in the West. This should be the easiest thing to keep up with, and I hardly talk about the dramas that happen here, and we have lots of dramas, but I think some of the dramas that happen in America I just don't care about, and it's just not that noteworthy, and I think this is definitely noteworthy, and R. Kelly's situation is really noteworthy, and Michael Jackson's situation is noteworthy.